Welcome to this Light Reading Innovator Series video. I'm Ruth Brown from Heavy Reading, and I'm joined today by Stephen O'Loughlin, who is Portfolio Manager of Monetization Software at Amdocs. So welcome.
Thank you very much, Ruth. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, great to be here today. So today we're going to be talking about charging, and it's really great to get into this topic. So there's obviously a lot of big changes that's happened in 5G, and it's going to introduce changes for charging and the way things are working. So we've seen multiple changes with the new architectures, platforms, service types. There's new service creation methods, and it will probably require changes in the charging models and methods. So right now, we've started to see 5G standalone public wide area networks deploying in a greater number. We're also seeing more launches. So I guess my first question to you is going to be, what are your thoughts on charging and monetization as we see 5G and advanced services associated with it finally becoming a reality?
So look, operators are in a really difficult situation right now. 5G SA, look, it's expensive business. Couple that with inflationary pressures and pandemic aftershocks, and the pressure is really on them right now. Many who we've been working with are investing in all the necessary platform to deliver all these advanced services and business models. But we're definitely starting to see a divergence in 5G readiness. The early adopters and the laggards coming up behind. But we're working with some of the ones that are moving more rapidly, and they're collaborating and experimenting with different plans and prices. They're looking at their customers' unique individual preferences, their needs and usage patterns. And they're doing a bit of multi-party charging and billing as well, which is required for the more complex business models and definitely revenue sharing. The others, they're playing a wait-and-see game, which is risky because momentum is going to be key in the 5G opportunity. So 5G charging and monetization, it's a completely different beast when we compare it to its 4G counterpart. Of course, we're all cloud native and microservices based, and this enables the necessary dynamic. But I realize charging is only a bit part in the full creating the 5G experience, but it's pivotal. You have to have and a versatility in that capability will dictate operators' ability to capitalize on the opportunity. So premium pricing for 5G speeds is not going to get you very far anymore. You need to be much more advanced.
Great. So you've spoken about there's multiple parts and moving parts for operators. But if we look towards the next 12 months in time, what do you think the biggest challenges are going to be for operators as we look at monetization?
Okay, so I mentioned earlier, we have the early adopters and the fast followers, but I think one thing that's in common across both of them is that they haven't yet decided what's really important to them. Which is a bit of a precursor to identifying their challenge. So we know there's no killer app, right? And it's not going to happen, or maybe it will, just not yet. And advertising speed claims will only get you so far. So the best way for me to explain this to you is an example that we've been working with, a 5G innovation example. So this is 5G vehicle telematics. So this was a car manufacturer who wanted a specific type of connectivity for advanced, reliable safety systems in their fleet. So straight away, it was about speed of reaction. So proof of concept, very short period of time. We're talking about weeks. And the vendor reaction, the velocity of the vendor reaction, couple that as well with within their own organization of the operators, it was their speed, the reaction time to be able to turn this around to capitalize and actually close the business. And I think this new model is something that we're going to see. So it's predominantly a cultural shift. The technology is already there. We have a full CCS solution. Those that have invested and have the 5G ready CCS engine ready to go, and the technology is there, but the 5G payoff, it will involve overcoming cultural challenges and collaboration with a vendor. That close collaboration to bring something to the market really fast is going to be key.
So for 5G as well, which do you see as the next biggest segment or target for operators to start monetizing? And how do you think it's going to be important to sort of incorporate these technologies to support their networks?
Okay, if we think about it, so currently the offerings are pretty basic, right? So they have a separation of data plans for 4G and 5G, and they're kind of incrementally raising the data plans to prices up the board to try and realize some more revenues. And there's a small bit of fixed wireless access as well. But this is the year where things are going to start accelerating. No surprise, of course, the North American operators are the ones that are driving us hardest here in Amdocs. And they've been backing certain verticals, automotive, healthcare, sports, entertainment as well, immersive experience, that type of area. So it's these larger enterprises. These guys are willing to pay the premium for a private 5G network, which comes with guaranteed security, capacity. It gives them the control that they need. So these partnerships will be where the biggest growth. Now, that's not to say that we should neglect the consumers as well, because you have all these new currencies, you've got high bandwidth, low latencies, and reliable connectivity as well. So maybe there's new billing models that you can play with, premiums, so premium pay-as-you-go, pay-per-use, all these ways to monetize a preferential experience, I think will be another key area. On the, I suppose, the technology front, which is our question, the network slicing will feed the enterprise opportunity. And to be honest, it's still very early stages, few early success stories, all right. But the dedicated network slice monetization is pretty rudimentary from our perspective. But a couple of more interesting things that we've been involved with is Edge. Edge and MEC, monetization there, low latency video processing, distributed enterprise apps is another area. But it's as I mentioned earlier, cultural challenges and developing their own skills in enterprise 5G consulting and solution sales for operators. They're going to be the big growth there opportunities for them. So they need to double down on selling their capabilities.
So what's Amdocs doing in this area in terms of preparing for the new 5G services and also the business models? I'm wondering if you can perhaps share some of the activities in terms of charging and what you're doing.
Okay, great question. Thanks, Rad. We've been working very closely, right, with a lot of leading edge CSPs, and we get to participate, which is a great part of my job, as I deal with all the change challenges, the move to the cloud, digitization, and I suppose realizing the benefits of what the 5G opportunity is opening up to them. So their success, and I suppose indirectly our success, will be determined by their ability to react to the new innovation for the new business models. So the way we're doing that, we have 3 pillars of focus within Amdocs charging, and we believe in this way we're helping them. So the 3 pillars are velocity, scalability, and versatility. So let me give you a quick brief on each of them. Velocity, the pace at which operators can change and maintain that momentum, is when they grow. So the fast offer creation environments, using low code or no code, and couple that with a bit of automated testing and rapid cadence of software delivery. So that's how we're adding value there. Scaling is the next one up, or even hyper scaling. In any cloud environment, doesn't matter. And I think 5G IoT is the one where we're going to need this ask. There's massive growth predicted in this area. It's inevitable that it's going to happen, but when it happens, you need to be ready to expand rather than expand first. So your monetization there needs to react very differently than it used to. We have to scale up and scale down depending on the opportunity. Finally, then it's versatility. This enables business growth. So where you have one tool, a centralized tool, the center of all truth is what we call our charging system, but it needs to be adaptable for what the as yet unknown opportunity for 5G will bring. And so multi-dimensional monetization is needed, and we believe that we have that. And I suppose a couple of examples that we've been involved with, I mentioned Edge, private enterprise network, API monetizations, and even more recently on exposure function integrations. So hyperscaling, ultra velocity, and versatility. These are the areas where Amdocs charging adds value.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for sharing your insights around charging with me today. It's been great chatting, and I look forward to watching what happens with Amdocs in the future.
Cool. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.